Good morning. I hope everybody that listens is keeping well. I was thinking about what's going on in the world, and I don't know, maybe this is just my imagination, but I was thinking our physical bodies plus the spiritual together they form a magnetic field around us. It's been described as a bubble. Some have a bigger field than others. And you can feel this when you are in the presence of someone happy, for instance. It's almost like it's contagious, right? Their state of being. You become influenced by it. That's probably where the theory of contagion comes from. Um, you are influenced when someone is sad. You call it empathy, right? And this is through, in my opinion, through this process of close proximity that without using any words, I mean, you can say, but it's through actions that things actually manifest in this world. It's through the actions of your intentions, the field that you project, and your actions. That thing, that worldviews are created. People in close proximity. You kind of catch, and there's a likeness. If you like what's this field is emanating, you kind of, you know, want to be around it, when you want to speak and you have this feeling, I really wanted to speak to that person, and you get close to them and you really didn't want to speak anything. You just wanted, an excuse to be around them, and you end up talking about something else, but what you really wanted was to be around that magnetic field. you know it is purely, intuitive. And no, nothing, it's not a, it's something that can't be quantified or calculated. It's purely spiritual. How worldviews are developed, it's in the same way. When you get them all together in a room, sharing the same worldview, and those who don't like it get up and find another place. This is what they say when they mention we are tribal. Yeah, likeness seeks likeness. We are tribal. We feel each other's through this magnetic field. It's almost like telepathy. You might be talking about something else, but it is that field that's communicating, you know. And this is how culture is developed. This is how worldviews are developed. It's the proximity. It's the proximity with people and this magnetic field. This is how cults work. This is how everything works. This is how a village works. You know, for instance, married couples, you know, they get together. They are completely infatuated with each other, which is normal. But after a certain time, they require a timeout. Normally, the husband just, I need a timeout, and which is very healthy. And they go to work, or they go someplace else, hang out with the boys, whatever, go to a match, They need some time out. It's perfectly normal. And imagine that you have children. Children also need a time out from their parents. And they want to be around other children. They are sharing the same experience around the same age. They want to be around those. They are like magnets. They attract each other. And they share the same worldview. They are in the same state of development. They likeness seeks likeness, you see. And it's when you separate, you want to separate this dynamics, it's when trouble begins. For instance, the children of the, of the wealthy, they kind of get segregated from, early on, and they don't develop this interaction, this dynamic with everybody else. So they develop a different worldview. The reason nowadays people don't want children is because of this. It's the dynamic of the village has been destroyed. Yes. Parents have been segregated from the rest of the family. Parents now exist in an apartment or in a house. They rarely visit their cousins, and children are school and home, home and school, and they are always seeing their parents fighting. This also comes or connects with this obsession of traveling. Because the only thing that parents, they are always grinding, because we need two income to survive nowadays. So they're always grinding. Yes, it's very tiring. They are at work at home, home at work. And this saturates the field. And this generates this obsession of traveling. They want a time out. They want a timeout out of each other and a timeout out of that house or that city where they live, whatever. They need a timeout because the field that they project is just saturated. And children likewise. And they see their parents fighting and everything. And they see their parents agitated and grinding, And they don't have the uncle or the grandfather or the other children in the village to, interact. It creates this, very uncomfortable bubble. So when they grow up, they will think twice. I don't want to repeat the same mistakes as... So, for instance, boys, they get together and they do boy things, and girls, they get together and they do girl things. And if they spend in the village enough time together, they developed, friendships. And one day, one of their friends get married and they have a child. That moment, because you are in close proximity, will affect your field. And you will want to have a child as well. It's almost like infectious. You see, the reason why they don't want children is because little by little, everybody's been segregated, and this experience has been removed from their magnetic field. Now they are what? I want to be, a doctor. I want to be strong, and that's the only thing that they are perceiving. I want to be independent. I want to be economically independent. They don't project, they don't, anything else. The more, the system or government got into the family and into the village, the more they got into it, because what they ultimately wanted was control and taxes, because that's how you sustain government, is through taxes. Also, that's how they keep you poor and separated and controlled. But the side effects of this is depopulation. People eventually lose the will to reproduce, to continue this madness. It just doesn't make any sense. So They thought they could unify the whole world the same way Constantine, decided to unify. He thought that he could end all differences by unifying everybody under one book. He gather all the books, discard what it's not good, and unify them in one book, and we call it the one book, one rule, and everybody in the empire will follow this book, and there will be no different religions, nothing. There'll be no differentiation between peoples, and we're all going to be happy, and all conflict and disagreements will end. No, that's utopia, or dystopia. And they thought the same thing. They could create a world government and this and that and the other. And we're going to, through technology, everybody's going to be strong and independent and blah, 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 blah. But it's not working, is it? So they decided, let's inverse this. Instead of separating everybody like we've been doing so far, isolating, and let's bring them together once more into the village concept. And that's where the 15-minute city comes. They want everybody to be in close proximity once more. They want people to be forced into that area once more, so that they develop worldviews, so that they develop this magnetic field. And you will see when they develop friendships, and because they will see it every day, and they will see the happiness in each other's face, and they will be influenced by it. The magnetic field is going to be, luckily, it has nothing to do, with your thought process. It's this resonance, and it's spiritual, It's a spiritual resonance, and it has nothing to do with your thought patterns or whatever. People will be influenced, to get back into the village system. That's what they are hoping to do. Stop this traveling. They want to put a ban in traveling. The more you travel, the more disconnected with your origin you'll become, you see. So this is what I was thinking, From a one world thing, they want to return into the process of one village, and many villages, of course. Instead of being one, they want to become many. They want to return, because depopulation, people are stopping reproduction. They don't want to, and it's normal. Children, they arrive at home, and I'm not going to repeat the same thing my parents did. It was hell. The 15-minute city allows them to have a bunch of kids again playing in the street. Remember back in those some 50 years ago, when I was a child? When I was a child, we didn't move 20 kilometers away. We had everything we needed here. The jobs was here. Everything was here. And families was here. A neighbor of mine, he worked, he's retired now. He had a nice job. He made a lot of money. He bought lots of property. He had 2 daughters, you see. So he kind of felt the obligation of giving them something, because it's 2 daughters, So he thought, I'm going to, buy this terrain so they can build a house. I'm going to give them like a gift, a marriage gift or whatever. And once they go through the system, they arrive at the end of the system, and they say, I'm going to move to another country. I'm going to move to the city. And the guy is like, this is the effects of globalization. You see, this is the effect of the New World Order. This is the side effects. It divides people, it divides families. So he sold the terrain to me, I bought it. And he said, honestly, my house, he said, they don't want to live here. Both of my daughters, they don't want to live here. And he has, health problems now, and nurses from whatever come, strangers from whatever company come, because his daughters are not nearby. Nobody is nearby to take care of him. So he has to pay for, and the terrain, the property that he bought, he sold it because they didn't want it. And he said, even my own house, they don't want it. They live somewhere far, far away. And this is the effects of globalization and the New World Order. Now they are hoping to turn things around. Creating this 15-minute city will make, again, people and families stay together. So that when you have a child, you can go to work and grandpa that is retired can take care of your children. You live in a 15-minute area, They want to turn around. They want to turn you again away from the cult of the globalization and turn you back into what we are more, tribal, into more tribalistic way. It's a 15-minute tribal city. And if you're not happy with the city, you can go to another city, But the objective is to get people close by, so they share the same magnetic field. So when someone is happy, you can share that happiness with others. When someone has a child, and they can share that happiness of being a parent with others, they will be influenced by this magnetic field, and they will themselves want to have, Or when you have a nice car, and you start talking to your neighbor, what a nice car, you share the same happiness, the same feeling, the same field will share it with you. Oh, look, did you paint your house? I did. The house is clean. The streets are clean. You share the same worldview. And luckily, it has nothing to do with any mental machination. It is purely spiritual, this field that's created, So that's what I was thinking. Anyway, tell me what you guys think. Have a nice day.